So, you're thinking about growing a YouTube channel from scratch, right? Maybe for 2026? Well, listen up. Forget everything you've heard about luck or going viral. Today, we are breaking down the actual strategic roadmap that really, truly works. Okay, let's get into it. First things first, let's just wrap our heads around the sheer scale here. YouTube has 2.7 billion, that's billion with a B, people using it every single month. Now, that's not a saturated market, my friend. That is an ocean of opportunity just waiting for creators who actually have a plan. You've probably heard this quote before, but man, is it true. If you've been sitting on the sidelines waiting for the perfect moment, this is it. Yeah, the platform has changed, the game is different, but the chance to just start and build something real has never, ever been more available than it is right now. So, how do you actually win on YouTube today? Well, what's really interesting is that it's not about being the loudest voice in the stadium anymore. Success now comes from being the most trusted voice in one specific, tiny corner of that stadium. It is all about finding your niche. And let's be real, this is the trap. This is where so many incredibly passionate, talented people go wrong. They quit, they burn out chasing views without any kind of real plan. Look, passion is what gets you to the starting line, for sure. But strategy, that's what actually gets you across the finish line. So to build that winning strategy, we have to do some work up front. Yeah, before you even think about what camera to use or how to set up your lighting, we have to lay the foundation. This is the stuff that happens off camera, and it's what separates the channels that take off from the ones that just fizzle out. Okay, here it is, the secret sauce. Your perfect niche is a combination of three things. First, something you know or love, something you could talk about for hours. Second, something people are actually searching for. You can use free tools like Google Trends to figure this out. And third, and this is the kicker, a space where you're not fighting a million other huge channels for attention. Finding that sweet spot, that's the whole game. And here's a perfect example of what I mean. You could start a general technology channel, and, good luck with that. You'd be competing with absolute giants. Or you could start a channel on productivity for software engineers. See the difference? All of a sudden, you're not a tiny fish in the ocean, you're a big fish in a very specific and very hungry pond. All right, once you have that niche locked in, your channel's branding needs to shout it from the rooftops. When someone lands on your page, you've got about 3 seconds tops to convince them they're in the right place. That means a name that's easy to remember, a profile picture that's clean and clear, and a banner that tells them exactly what kind of value they're going to get. It's your digital handshake. Okay, foundation is set. Now for the fun part, actually making stuff. Let's talk about creating videos that get seen. Videos that please both the YouTube algorithm and, more importantly, actual human beings. And let's just bust a huge myth right now. You do not need a bunch of expensive, fancy gear. Seriously, you have a smartphone? Great. You have a window that lets in some light? Perfect. Can you find a quiet corner or a closet to record in? You are good to go. I promise you, a great idea will always, always beat a mediocre idea filmed on a fancy camera. Now, let's think about the journey of viewer takes. Before they see even a single frame of your amazing video, they see this. The title. It's the headline. It's the promise you're making to them. It has to spark their curiosity or answer a burning question they have. If it doesn't, they're just going to keep on scrolling. But a great title alone isn't quite enough. If the title's the promise, the thumbnail is what seals the deal. It has to visually leap off the screen and earn that click. Think bright, high contrast colors, a clear focal point, maybe an expressive face. Remember, it has to stand out on a tiny phone screen. A killer title and a killer thumbnail. That's an unstoppable 1-2 punch. Boom! They clicked, you got them. Well, not yet. The battle's only half won. You now have about 5 seconds. 5, to prove to them that they made the right choice. This means you have to get straight to the point. No long, boring intros. Deliver on that promise from your title and thumbnail immediately, or poof, they're gone. Okay, let's take a deep breath because we need to have a serious talk. What I'm about to show you is the single biggest reason people fail on YouTube. It's not about talent, it's about expectations. Growth is not a straight line. Just look at this timeline. For the first 3, maybe even 6 months, you're in what's called the grind. It's going to feel like you're creating amazing stuff and shouting into the void. It's hard. This is the test. But if you stick with it, something amazing happens. You start to get momentum.
And then somewhere around that 1-year mark, you can hit an inflection point, and that's when things really start to take off.
So I need you to completely reframe your mindset. Your first 50 videos are not about the views. I want you to ignore the view count. Seriously, think of those 50 videos as your tuition. You're in YouTube University learning your craft. The only metric that should matter to you is this. Is this video just 1% better than my last one? That's it. And all of this brings us to the final big idea, the real commitment you have to make if you're serious. This is a long-term game, and it's measured in what you create, not just how much time passes. When you boil it all down, this is it. This is the entire formula. You need a laser niche focus. You need to deliver consistent quality. You must have strategic optimization on every title, every thumbnail, every video. And the secret ingredient that holds it all together? Patience. You absolutely need all four. 100. I want you to burn that number into your brain. Not 10 videos, not 20. 100. Don't you dare judge your channel's success or failure until you have made 100 videos. Give yourself 100 chances to learn, to get better, and to give the platform enough data to find your perfect audience. That is the real test. Look, we've laid out the entire playbook. The roadmap from zero to a real, thriving channel is right here. The opportunity is absolutely massive. The only variable left in this whole equation is you. So the question isn't whether it's possible. The question is, will you do the work?